really back and forth. It's hard to follow the action, but it looks like Fantasy is going to take another bit of an advantage in this area, but he's not close enough to do damage to the actual expansion there. And so, well, now he's moving in. He may be able to, but again, Light has the high ground. He has the high ground, and if he gets enough tanks up there, even a few less tanks than Fantasy has, he's going to be able to hold the high ground very easily. But a little bit risky, I guess, by Fantasy trying to move in there. But I mean, when you want to attack, you gotta attack into something. You know, there's always going to be defense. Anyway, but it looks like Light is going to secure that high ground now. He's not able to secure just that ridge. And actually, wow, he's two tanks within range of attacking the command center, but not within range of that tank. So just a little bit poor positioning here by Light, but he didn't really have much of a choice, because if he'd gotten a little bit closer to get a better range location, then his tanks would have been within range of Light's Fantasy's tanks. And it looks like Fantasy building another science facility because he knows that one might die. Also, he may be thinking about switching to battlecruisers as well. There we go. The SCVs are moving in. As Light moves his tanks within range, they're going to be able to push that back after all. And he didn't move his tanks in close enough, though. I think he probably could have moved in a little bit closer. But at least he's secured that expansion now. Wow, but a lot of forces on the left side. Now, Light has had to defend. There's the starports going up for Fantasy. Wow, so we are going to see some... wow, okay, so the armories are up for Fantasy as well. I didn't realize that. So both players already thinking about BCs, even before they're getting it going. And they're going to be getting their upgrades going beforehand. Look at this. Light following suit with 4 starports of his own. And both players just have so much of the map, and it's just so hard to break an entrenched terrain that's why you get those battlecruisers, because the Yamato is just so good for breaking another terrain. You get for breaking their entrenched position. Anyway, so you can go in, but you gotta mix your battlecruisers with tanks as well. Otherwise, if they go on Goliaths, then you're screwed. Wow, 5 control towers going up, another couple starports going up as well. Fantasy is serious about this stuff. And he's got his physics lab going now, but Light does not have his physics lab going. Maybe he sees that science facility and thinks that Fantasy is not getting this yet. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But the control towers are going up for Fantasy, so he's not going to go for raids or anything like that. I'm sorry, for Light. So Light is not going to be going for raids, but he doesn't have his physics lab attached to his science facility at this point. Did I say? I might have said control tower. Anyway. He doesn't have his physics lab going. Light does have a lot of dropships now, though. I hadn't commented that before, but he does have some decent amount of dropships now to try and catch up with that. But he's going in for a little bit of attack. There's a spider crawling across my keyboard right now, or maybe it's an ant. Oh god, I gotta kill the ant. Hold on. Hey. There we go. I usually don't kill bugs, but if I don't kill this one, it'll bring back more. I thought I'd squish the ant under my keyboard into the keys, but wow. So, oh my gosh, what's going on here? I was concentrating on the ant. I totally missed Fantasy moving in hardcore with a whole bunch of troops. Oh my god, Fantasy going in for the main. He's losing expansion, but he may be able to take out Light's main base here. This is crazy. We may see Light have to go into hiding and just produce his units on the other side. He's got the physics lab almost up. He's probably only going to have time to make a couple battlecruisers at those bases while the physics lab is up, because the physics lab is going to go down fairly quickly with those forces in there. It looks like Fantasy has actually drawn back most of his forces. He's just left a few behind to finish off the units there, or sorry, finish off the buildings there. Meanwhile, wow, Light is floating his factories away. There's the battlecruisers. Oh my gosh. Battlecruiser operational. I saw this guy on YouTube who was at the BlizzCon imitation contest who did a perfect imitation of the battlecruiser sound. I was really jealous. But yeah, so he's going to lose that science facility. He's making another one, but in the meantime, he has been able to put some battlecruisers on queue in his starports probably. But wow, look at this. Fantasy coming back with his forces, picking up those forces in his dropships, instead of using them to quickly finish off Light's base, lift a few forces behind to finish off Light's base, and now he's taking his forces all the way across the map to try and contain this force of Lights that's been just kind of rampaging up the left side of the map. He killed the 9 o'clock base, killed the 10 o'clock base, and Fantasy is able to hold him off at 11. He's going to lose his army, so he's not going to be able to do mass upgrades anymore. So I'm going to put Fantasy in a little bit of a strong position here, although actually Light Light lost his base, but he didn't lose his mining base. Fantasy only has one mining base at the moment, I think, maybe two. And oh, there's the battle cruisers. What is he doing? He can't. Well, I guess he can. He's enough of battle cruisers. He can go against there. Actually, that's a good idea. Never mind. I was thinking he shouldn't engage those Goliaths, but I realized that's a little bit silly because he had enough. Oh, and catching the dropships off guard as well. He's not going to be able to do another drop. So now both players just stranded with just with only one or two bases here that are mining at this point. I believe Fantasy does have that 1 o'clock base mining still, and he's got 11 o'clock mining now. And he needs to take another base, though, because Fantasy has those 3 bases on the left, the bottom left. It's almost like he's switched spawn points. He's lost the bottom right, but he's taken up all the expansion in the bottom left, so he's kind of switched spawn points over there. And a lot of battle cruisers out now for Fantasy. He's not able to pump out a ton, though, because, no, actually he's pumping out a lot of battle cruisers. But I was going to say he doesn't have a lot of mining going on, but he probably has some saved up as well because he had his Terran army just kind of chilling around. You know, he wasn't losing a lot of forces because he just had them sitting in firing lines. Both players putting up a lot of turrets now as well. Actually, wow. So Light actually kept that expansion, his third base for his initial spawn point at the 4 o'clock position. I did not think he was going to keep that. With all his main going, I didn't expect him to be able to keep that expansion, but he has, and now another Fantasy putting up that expansion at the top left corner. Really, I think it might do Fantasy good to go in and kill off this base. It's only got 4 tanks there. He could easily move in his tanks and probably take it out. And that would do him a lot of good, but I don't know. He's got a lot of drop ships, but it would be hard to drop on that location because there's so many turrets there now. Whoa, a ton of battle cruisers popping out all at once. Looks like we're gonna see some major heavy duty crazy Yamato fights at some point in this game. Although, oh, there he goes. Now Fantasy moving in for the kill. He's gonna take out that expansion after all, just like I said he thought he should. So good on him, and he's going to be able to take out one more mining base very easily. Good work on his part, taking advantage of that situation. Just going in with ground forces because there were so many turrets on the ground. And oh, here we go. There's the Yamato action. Yamatoing the tanks, that's going to soften up that base, and it's just an easy way to pick off resources. He's going with the tanks at the same time. Oh my god, that's a lot of tanks. Now he's going with his own Yamatos. Actually, yeah, just one Yamato. He's taking out some tanks here. He needs to take out the tanks more than the battle cruisers, actually, because the tanks are taking out the turrets that would defend from the battle cruisers, if that makes any sense. Those tanks are not going to be able to get within range of the SCVs, but it is going to soften up that spot where if he wants to drop in there, he's going to be able to drop on that ridge and then protect his drop with his battle cruisers, theoretically. And, oh, here we go. There was what I was exactly saying. The drop goes down. Some tanks in there. He's going with the battle cruisers as well. It looks like Light has more battle cruisers, though. But Fantasy has more troops on the ground and more troops in dropships. But Light has more battle cruisers, so he could theoretically affect it. I don't know why he's not... Well, it's a little bit risky to go in there because he's got almost as many battle cruisers. He could lose a lot there. He's got some Goliaths on the ground as well. I think it might be beneficial to him to just go in and attack, though. Oh, EMP! EMP could go off on all those battle cruisers! Oh, the EMP goes off! The EMP goes off! Oh my god! That is such a hardcore EMP. I believe it hit all of those battle cruisers. And so now he has no Yamato left. So there's going to be huge... There's the Yamatos! The Yamatos from Fantasy. He didn't have a lot saved up, though. Looks like he's doing some decent target firing, though. But more battle cruisers are in play. Oh, man. That was the advantage that he had, was that he had more Yamato. But he went in, despite having less Yamato, tried to take advantage of that moment with his own Yamato cannons. But he had just so fewer battle cruisers. Oh my god, Fantasy has been completely driven back. He just did not have nearly as many battle cruisers there. And just got completely slaughtered. And now he's wide open. This is horrible for Fantasy. He is wide open. Light can now move out here and theoretically attack the new bases that Fantasy has. In fact, that's exactly what he's going to do right now. There's nothing stopping him right now. There's nothing stopping him. That engineering base is going to spot that happening. Fantasy needs to get some Goliaths out or something like that. Right now, he does not have enough battle cruisers. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Looks like about a dozen battle cruisers for Light now. And Fantasy down to 6 battle cruisers total on the field. And Light, look at this. Even pumping out, he lost so few battle cruisers in that battle. He's now sending out SCVs to die, so he has extra supply so he can build more battle cruisers. And a lot of tanks on the ground for Fantasy, but they're not doing him any good. Well, they were for a minute because he was attacking the other bases with him, but